Hi everyone, my name is Omotola. So happy to be here as part of my commitment to being more visible on this page. I taxed myself this month to at least go live once a week. So this is my first live and I'm really excited and scared at the same time. But happy to be here for sure. So I'm really looking forward to being on here more often than not and hopefully sort of teaching and learning as well as we go along. And so one of the things that I'm planning to share about today is talk about what to do, what you need to do before you apply for a grant or before you write a grant. There are some checklists that you need to have in place before you start sending out grant application. And so I'm looking forward to sharing some things and then also learning from you if you have some tips and if you have some other checklists that you consider before you have apply for a grant. So let's get started. So what are the top things, 5 things you need to do first before you apply for a grant? Number one, you need to check your mission and vision statement. So a lot of organizations, like non-profit organization, they have a vision or a mission statement that drives the purpose and the cause and the reason why they created their organization. So sometimes one of the bad habits for most non-profit is that you do not check or upgrade your mission. So it's really important and critical that at least once a year review your mission statement and your vision statement and ask yourself, is this still relevant to the program that we are offering? Is this still important? Are we on task in terms of the project that we do, the population that we serve, and the kind of funding that we are receiving? Hi, welcome. Thank you for joining. I am speaking today and just sharing about the checklist to have and make sure you have before you start writing a grant application. So like I said, the first thing is the mission or vision statement. It's so critical for you to review your mission and vision statement before you submit a grant application. Is it still relevant to the task and the work that you're doing? And then number two, are you sure that your mission statement is a good match for the funder that is looking forward to hopefully giving you some money to run your programs? And so if you're thinking of sending a grant in, that is very key. So making sure that you have like an updated mission statement is really key, and a way to do that and to check that your mission statement is relevant and will be ideal for the funder that you're hoping to get grant for is to do this little exercise. So a mission statement is basically saying what is our vision plus the strategy that we are going to use to accomplish this vision that we have. And so you can do an exercise to say, oh, my mission is to be the best non-profit organization that works towards ending child hunger in Nigeria or in South Africa or in Africa or in the United States. For yours, it might be, oh, our goal or our vision is to end homelessness in a particular community, and we are going to do that by dot dot dot. So what step are you taking? What things are you doing to ensure that you are fulfilling that goal or that vision that you have in helping the population of interest that you're in? So make sure you check your mission or vision statement and ensure that it is a match for what the funders are looking for. The second thing is to also know your fiscal year beginning and end date. For most non-profits, we don't usually start the year in January and end in December. For some, it can start in June, or for some it starts in August, for some it starts in September. So for non-profit organization, there is no fast rule saying that your fiscal year must start in January or end in December. This is important to note before you apply for a grant, because more often than not, the funder, they are going to ask you for when is your fiscal year, because that can help them determine what kind of cycle their grant funding will roll into for your organization. So it's really really key for you to know your fiscal year, so that won't become a problem when they ask you when is your fiscal year, and then you can answer the question. They will think you're not serious and you're not ready for the funding that they have to offer to you. The third thing is about relationship building. So yes, I know that there are a lot of call for grant out there. You can easily Google and find potential grants that your organization might be a fit for. But more often than not, it's really really key that you go beyond just looking at the website and then just going into the application immediately. One of the things that you should practice or you should do is to first contact the funder or the funding organization and ask and say, oh, one, my name is this is who I am, this is what I do, this is what my organization is about. I recently came across your call for application or this grant opportunity that your organization or foundation is giving out, and I just want to introduce myself and just confirm that indeed this is still relevant and this is still happening. So just by introducing yourself and telling them a little bit about what you do, that is going to set like a good relationship going forward if you're granted the funding to do the things that you want to do. And so it's very very key, and it's really really important that first reach out to the organizations as much as possible. And the way you do that is to check and see through their contact whether they ask you to send us an email or call this program manager or program officer with us to move forward. So even if they don't mandate it in quotes, it's a good practice to do that and ask and just introduce yourself and just let them know what you do, and this is how your organization operates. So just think of it as like an elevator pitch, but in an email or in a call that you when you reach out to the individual. And so a really simple way to like start the relationship and contact the person might be to say, hi, my name is Omotola, I am with this that dash organization or non-profit or NGO, and we are located in this particular state or town or city, and we were funded in this year, and the purpose is to serve this particular client like homeless population, resettle refugee youth, help with child literacy programs, run an after school center, whatever it is. And then now talk about what you recently achieved. Recently we were able to move the needle by helping 50% of our participants to increase their academics grade, or we were able to lower child hunger by 25% or whatever that looks like. And so having that kind of introduction to just say, this is my name, this is my role in this organization, this is what we do, this is the years that we've been operating, and now this is what we've been able to accomplish as of right now, is a good way to start setting up the right relationship and building the right relationship with the grant organization. And the fourth thing is to know your operating budget. This is very key and important. Most people overlook this when they are writing a grant or submitting it. Sometimes some funders will say, if you don't have a budget of up to $1 million, then they are not going to fund you. So it's really critical that you look at the call for application and check if there's a budget requirement, and then now use that to compare to your own organization. Because for some non-profits, they might only need $50,000 a year, some might even need just 10,000, some might need just 5,000, some might need just 200,000. So for some funders, the budget is important. So if you look at the requirement and you see that you don't match the budget expectation or budget bracket where they are, then that might not be the best grant for you to apply to. So instead of wasting time and energy writing this wonderful grant application and spending time, money and energy, then all for you to find out at the end of the day that, oh no, you do not have the the requirement, you do not meet the requirement in terms of budget, operating budget to be able to qualify for the grant. So it's really key for you to first and check and see that the operating budget that is requested for by the organization is a match and you meet that criteria. Another thing that you need to check before you apply for a grant is the program offering. So for some grant, for some foundation, they have specific or focus. It can be in terms of the kind of population you serve, the age group in which you operate at, and so that also matters as well. So for instance, there might be an organization that focus just on children that are under the ages of 15 or under the ages of 10, while for some their own focus is on youth, and they might have the specification that, oh, for them youth start from 13 to 21, or 13 to 18, or 15 to 18. So paying attention to what kind of client, what kind of age group, what kind of issues that these foundations or these funders are interested in is very key before you just submit a grant application. Knowing if your own organization is a match for this age group if the organization is a match for the type of funding that is being called out for is very key and important. So more often than not, most people do not think of this. When they see a grant opportunity, they're just excited and just see the money that, oh, there's a chance to win up to 100,000 or 200,000 or more, and they forget that it is really important and it's key that you check and make sure that the program that you offer and the program that you do is very closely related to the kind of things that the foundation want to fund as well. So this is really key and this is really important, and it's really something that you should definitely pay attention to when you are before you apply for a grant. So that's the end of today's I guess live learning. Like I said, this is my first time that I'm coming on live, and I'm hoping to be better at it, and I'm hoping to like have opportunity to chat and discuss and just have a discussion about whatever questions you have when it comes to grant writing, finding grant opportunity, and also meeting with potential funders going forward. So thank you for the person who joined, and I look forward to hopefully like getting questions if you have any after this ends. So I'm going to post this on my stories, and so feel free to watch it, and if you have questions or if you have additions and things that you like to add to it, please share or send me a DM, and then we can move from there. But if you ever need anyone to help you look at a grant opportunity or consider like some proposal that you've written, I'm here to help you. I have been writing grant for over 6 years. I've won more than $250,000 worth of grant in my years of grant writing. I've helped more than 15 nonprofit organizations and to find funding that they use to create the impact that their organization are at the core of doing. So don't be a stranger. Feel free to send me a message, comment on my post, and tomorrow we'll continue and trashing out what components do you need when you're writing a common grant application. So thank you, and I wish you a wonderful rest of the week, and looking forward to be here next week for another topic. Next week we'll focus on what should you include when you're writing a letter of inquiry, and what kind of things are supposed to be there. But if you have other questions or other topics you'd like me to discuss and talk about, I'll be more than happy to also discuss that as well going forward. So looking forward to interacting with you more and more, and so thank you and bye.